Zircon is such a beautiful mineral because of the combination of properties that it has. For example, one is the refractive index. The second is that even at high temperatures, it does not combine or react with the other constituents in the mix in foundry applications, in refractory applications, in ceramic applications. So because it is so inert, it works really well in a combination with other compounds. The third is the low coefficient of thermal expansion. At high temperatures, it is very, very important for materials not to expand. For example, imagine a situation in a refractory furnace. If the material were to expand, there would be failure. The fourth is it has a very high melting point, over 2500 degrees. And that is what really lends itself to high temperature applications.
So, zirconium silicate has a very high refractive index. That means it scatters the light very easily, and therefore it can be used as an opacifying agent in ceramic applications, such as in tableware or in sanitary ware and in tiles. It gives a very high brightness level and a very good whiteness level.
Half of the zircon globally produced is used in the ceramic tile industry, and the remaining half is used in special applications like refractory and foundry and investment casting. So in ceramics, zircon is used as an opacifier, as a whitener, and it provides some hardness to the glaze. In glaze compounds, in the surface applications, they use the opacifier, the micronized opacifier. In the frit manufacturing, they use a coarser product called zircon flour. In the engope, similarly, they use a different form of zircon. So, like in any industry and any raw material, feedstock with lower impurities is the premium grade, and feedstock with higher impurities is standard and below. So, in zircon, the key impurities are iron oxide and titanium. Higher levels of iron oxide and titanium really destroy the performance of zircon. However, in certain non-ceramic applications, a higher tolerance for iron oxide and titanium is allowed and is often encouraged. So, premium sands largely for ceramics, standard sands largely for non-ceramic applications.
The benefits of the premium grade zircon is that they were produced with very high degree of control and consistency of the specifications. So for those applications that require very tight tolerances and high performance of the incoming zircon products in their process, then what can fulfill their needs are the premium grades. So it's the premium grade that can be very consistent and very predictable in terms of performance. In ceramics, what they require from zircon is to have a pure zircon, and that the zircon behaves in a way that it gives the best whiteness and also opacity. The properties that are inherent in a good zircon that is suitable for ceramics industry, there are two key points there. It must have high purity, which means ZrO2 plus HFO2 should be very high. And then apart from that, the contaminant levels, particularly those important to color in ceramics, should be very low. The second aspect of zircon's performance in ceramics is crystallinity. It's about the crystal structures of the zircon that is used there. Now, different zircons, they will have different levels of purity of the crystals, as they are all subjected to different geological processes in their history. Those crystals that are more perfect and less damaged than the other zircons will typically behave in a better way and higher performance in whiteness and in opacification in ceramics. In ceramics, specifically in glazes and frits, zircon, when it's used, can also add additional benefits and properties. For example, is chemical resistance and a resistance to abrasion.
We carried out the life cycle assessment study together with the Centro Ceramico in Bologna in Italy. We found out that if we use Zircon opacifier in a super white porcelain tile, we have a lower impact on a variety of different environmental factors compared with competing solutions. We found 20 to 30% lower impact on most of the environmental factors. There was only one parameter where we found similar impact, which was the ozone depletion potential. Because of the very high refractive index and the strong opacifying effect that Zircon has, this of course has a very strong influence on the environmental benefits. Zircon itself has a very high solar reflectance. That means it reflects a wide range of the solar light. And if used on roof tiles, it means that the roofs and the houses are colder than they would be if we did not use that Zircon pigments. Perhaps I explain a little bit about the urban heat island effect is that we observe in cities that the temperatures are higher than in the countryside. And this is due to the use of a lot of construction materials that absorb the solar light. Now, if you use Zircon in roof tiles, you allow a lot of the solar energy to be reflected. This gives you a natural cooling effect and keeps the houses cool.